Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Oftentimes, with the word memorial, it brings forth the idea of loss. But here, we think about what a gift Jim was when he brought to the world. We are here to celebrate, in a positive sense, his life, even though he is no longer with us. But his sense of humor, his passion, all of that carries with us in our hearts until we meet again. We will begin with the program. We have a number of speakers. We will have a break to show a video, and the rest will be our presentation in the room. We will have time to socialize with each other and share some refreshments. We will begin our celebration. First with the video. Hi, my name is Jeff, and I'm Jimson.
And hello, I'm Elizabeth, and you probably know me better as Zara and stuff. And we just want to thank everyone so much for coming today to be able to celebrate the life of Dad. It means a lot to us. And just the fact that we're all honoring him today. Thank you.
The committee here also welcomes you, along with his children. I am classmates with Jim in high school. He was in the slow class first, and I really came to know him. As a senior, as I was Val, he was South, so we sat together, we had courts, and we both received honors, we both came together, and known him for many, many years. One of the things I'll never forget about Jim is we had the finger spell our speech at graduation. He hated finger spells specifically. He was sweating, right? It's Louisiana, and there's no air conditioning, and it's summertime, 1969. We didn't have air conditioning at school, so here's the thing. Basically, what he said, because I went back and looked at this, he said, "Thank you for the support to make me be a successful man he was." Speaking of Louisiana, another LSD success story, William Miller.
Hello, everyone. I miss Jim. Now, I've known him, I have known him for 61 years. We were at school together. He went to St. Joseph's, which was a high school, went there and came into the school. And this guy with a great smile. He was contagious. His whole smile was contagious. And we became great friends. We hung out a lot. We did so many things together. We were actually called Jeff and Mutt and Jeff. Because the two of us were always together. So one of the first things he taught me, and you're probably assuming it would be golf, but it actually wasn't. Golf came later, but one of the first things he taught me was about my clothes. He absolutely crazy like that. I didn't know what I was wearing. He's like, "That's not right, that doesn't look good." And I learned a lot from him about how to get dressed in my entire life. It was really important to him too. That really was as important to us. I remember his first car, he had a Triumph, and he loved it. He was so proud of it. He would come onto campus driving his own car, and he loved it. I was a bit jealous, he had a great car, but because we were such good friends, he let me take it. I could go for a ride in it. I could barely fit in that car. I was in a tight squeeze. But it definitely wasn't his car. I knew his whole family. He had a warm and welcoming family. And I always felt like I was a part of it. So let me give you some examples of what that was like. I know we don't have a lot of time to speak, but I went to his house. And I would go to the Mardi Gras with him and his mother, so it was very affectionate. And our school didn't permit us to do that. This is the Mardi Gras was in February, right? That was in February, but somehow his mom, and I'm not sure how I was able to take me with them, and just, we had such a great time. And I think I got lost for a couple of hours, and then trying to find, and eventually, of course, I found my way back. It was a great experience. I was invited to family dinners with him, and it was always a lot of food. I remember dressing up for one event, and that was the first time I had a glass of wine. At first I thought it was grape juice, and I chugged it down. I was like, oh. But it was absolutely delicious. I didn't realize I would only get one glass. I remember his father came and was looking for Jim and took me with him, and we went to the driver's house. And I had a great time learning from his dad about God. So his dad taught me, taught Jim, and his mother was so warm and welcoming. One time, she asked him to come because she wanted a new car. And we went on a trip with her, and it was a bunch of Kellogg's. And Mom was looking at me. She asked us, pick the car that we would want. I was like, no, she was asking us, but she was. She asked us to pick it, so we started looking around the cars. And we selected a bright red car. It was beautiful, a white convertible. And that was such an honor for me that we were the ones who put it on. That was the car she loved. We got to have a dining with her, and always remember that being a part of that decision. And that's been part of the whole family. And I'm conscious of the time I'm given to speak. I could go on and on with memories. And one week before he passed away, decided to go to the Deaf Seniors Association conference. And so many people got to see him. I hadn't seen him for years. And then sadly we lost him. We played golf together. We went on a trip to see a lot of the photographs here. There's so many memories. I'm absolutely miss him. Look at this. Mardi Gras means our very last trip to Mardi Gras. It's 1969 with Jim Hynes. The school said, no, can't go. That's what we did. We did it anyway. We had a great time. We knew we had to get back at a certain time Wednesday. But we missed it. We got in trouble, and Jim got in trouble. But we were okay. We were able to make it back. But looking, at that time that we had, I will not know. Next, we have Ryan Houston. Very long-time friend. Hello, everybody. I have a list here, so we can say certain things, and you talked about Jimmy's lovely dress. I'd say I remember getting actually a shirt with the buttons, and always making sure to have a white t-shirt. I need to get a V-neck, not a V-neck. So it doesn't show, even though it doesn't make it look good. So I wore a V-neck because it's so you know, for 61 years, I've been for 54 years. We started in 69 and I was at summer school and immediately we became great friends. And right from that first day, we started talking and we were just so comfortable with him. And you might all remember 1013, large classroom in HMB. And so we were there, they were welcoming students in, it was in summer. And those of you who have many subjects that you weren't strong in, you have to come to summer school. So we were there, and there was a huge group of students. I remember looking at him, and Jim was the only student wearing a tie. Everyone else is a t-shirt and shorts, not Jim. He had a tie. And his father was an attorney who had high expectations of him, so that's the way he would always dress. Just remember that summer. Subjects together, and doing so many things, we had such good time. So many things, we passed it, barely, and we passed it really coming together. And then in the fall, there were prep students. We decided to be roommates. To be right here, right at Chapel Hall. Jim was with down where I'm in that room, and I was in the same suite, but I was with another student. And we had great discussion, we had fun, we just had a great time together. And I remember saying to him, I would call you my best friend. You still do that. But then I realized not only did he call me my best friend, and I would the one, but it turns out he was just well loved and well loved by so many people. I have to tell you, family and friends are so important to him that he would do anything for the next community. That's what he was on. In terms of resources, he was always advocating and trying to do things, whether it had to do with the logistics, the carpentry, whatever was needed, he'd find a way. And one favorite memory is we were in the cafeteria, and we realized building and this evening, Jimmy came in and he had his dog up to him. And got my attention and said, look at me. Look at me. And he wanted to show me something that he could do. He took out his gloves. I went upstairs. I wanted to get a better view so I could look down and look on the tire between. And what I did was flash all the lights. Everyone. The attention of everyone. They took out his gloves. We lived 10 minutes apart in the villages, and we would just have great conversations. We talked about his health, going to the clinic, and then I also have health issues, and we talked about those together. I'm a borderline diabetic, and we talked about the issues I have, and we talked about him, and we were able to share that together. And then it was 2 days later, I remember he asked me to come talk to him, and he was upset. He was like, I saw you eating a huge baked potato with sour cream the other day, and you shouldn't be eating that. You have 4 or 9 days. That would be him. For the one conversation, he would start researching what was going on. And he cared. He followed everything, and he cared. That was who he was. So I remember him falling into that. There's never a compromise with him. Great memories. So Jim, I just want to say thank you for who you were as a great counselor. Jim was such a resourceful person. In 1968-69, I think he earned $12,000 a year at that time. And he, average salary for that year was like $12,000. And our class actually raised $12,000. And he did that, back then that was a lot of money to raise, right? So they sold raffle tickets, the class sold raffle tickets. He would go to wealthy neighborhoods, with boys knocking on doors, and we ran out of raffle tickets. He sold them all. So he found ways to earn money and got us on a class trip all over California. So he was very appreciative. Next, we have Hynes Wright, a student who is not able to be here with us in person, sent a video that we're going to show former student. Good morning, everyone. I'm Hynes Wright. We are gathered because we have precious memories of Jim. Jim is my good friend, my inspiration. I want to tell you just a short story of his contribution. Jim had such a big heart for all of the students he engaged with. He gave his time. He was one of my favorite dorm staff back in the day. I want to thank Jim Hynes, Dale Ford, Alan Talbot, and Tom Quinn. I was a senior in SSD, and all of them encouraged me to go to the leadership camp at YRC. They helped me monetarily. They helped me by hosting car washes for SSD, raised funds, raised over $2,500 at that time. With their support, technical difficulties. You honestly can see. Go to the stop. I was already accepted at RIT at the time. They encouraged me to apply to all that. I was also accepted at Arizona State University. When I got accepted to Gallaudet, I was planning to stay for just one semester, but I ended up doing matriculating and graduating with a major in education and psychology. And I got a job at Kimball. I worked there for 5 years, and then went to MSSD as a transition counselor. I was there 17 years total, 22 years of closing. It has been very much my honor to work with Jim and to witness his many years of retirement in MSSD. Jim would always say to me, it's important that you do your very best. Your best, not your best life, because we never know. And you never know the impact that you have on yourself. So I want to say thank you. Thank you, Jim, for everything you've done for me, with that community. I love you always, Hynes.
about her student. Thank you, Jen, and thank you to everyone in this room. It means a lot to so many people. This is our future. Next is, who's up next? Carla. Carla, please come up. Carla, very dear friend.
Good morning. So all of us have different stories to share about Jim, and I'm going to share some of mine. Some of you might remember. So we were having a pop quiz in this one class, and all of us had a favorite answer, and that's how we became friends. That's what we did. And we never had to study anything after that. But many years later, I had practical consistency, even though we were working on it. And I just got to see how we engaged with everybody. Students, parents, other staff members, it was like a magnet. Just everyone loved him, he was great. I can't think of anyone who didn't like him. So we got to work together. We worked in different departments, sometimes the same, but we're 35 years. We had several different bosses. We went through several systemic changes. And I struggled with that, but not Jim. He was consistently a positive force there. And it was great to work with. It just always looked up to him. He married women, and then he moved to Bowie, and City Cathedral, very important, and also moved there. So we had almost 3 miles from each other. And I got to see him in when we raised their children, and just saw them as incredible parents, and Jim was great. He loved his family. And I never tired of any of his stories. He had so many memories to share of his experiences in life, his travels, the different people he met. He was a great storyteller. Some of you might remember this, but he was an inspirational guy, and he was spontaneous. He loved to shop. He'd see something, being advertised, whether it was tinted glasses or pocket knives. He was constantly buying things. He would ask me about kitchen drawers, and I won't tell you all these stories. We talked about a bunch of stuff that he had done. And in 2013, we retired. We retired at the same time. And he moved to Delaware, and went to Florida. And we didn't see each other much. I thought maybe our friendship would wane, but it didn't. We were good, constant friends. We were always in touch. And it was just your laughter, your love, your love of life that was always an inspiration. Just being a family, knowing your family, I was always remembering that.
Thank you, Carla. Yes, his positive energy, that is right. He was contagious, his smile was contagious, his energy was contagious. Thank you, Jen. Next, I have another very long time friend. Good morning, everyone. When you go to a cemetery and you see on the tombstones the birth date and death date, it's in Baton Rouge. James is 1949. I have dash 2023. All of those years in between is what I'm focused on. A very long life. I'm going to select one part that I want you to know about him and who he was as a person. When I first met him, I interviewed for a position and I was in the doors and just checking out. He gets me in for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Right there. He was like, I'm going to get this job. Don't worry about it. Good. Let's talk about this and that. And I did end up getting the job. Jim was the kind of person, he had a huge heart. Sometimes people think he was on the side, but he was always very honest. Some kids couldn't afford to go home for the weekend, so you know what Jim did? He slipped them some money. He slipped people money so that they could go home. So those boys could go home on the bus. They didn't have to go on the bus ride to go home. right? Or they had a, so he handed out money recognized. Now, in other words, be careful about how you do that, right? So, but he had a good heart, he was huge heart. He was a great communicator, he was great with students. I would say that Jen is a people magnet, right? People just love to be around him all the time. Not just here, but when we went to Europe, you don't believe all the people he knows in Europe. He's a world traveler. So, you know, you know, she's talking to Jen. They should just be together. But this is still, I mean, the point is, everybody loves him. And he was quick, witty. I was stopping exactly what's going on. High energy, and he was screaming at action. But bottom line, he was a great guy. And I have always thought about him. I think about him all the time. Thank you, Jen, for being such a great person. Not just to me, but to everyone else too. Thank you, Bill. I'm sure that everyone knows. I'm sure others can tell their story similar to what you did. Next, we have Laura Spells. Please come on up. Hello. I look around the room here, and I just can't believe it. I'm like, look at this. Yeah, we know that we love God, right? He was our honor owner. So I call you Jim's God. Or you're here for him. I mean, his character is unbelievable. Judy and I met him in the 80s, 1980s. He was in dorm A up at MSSD, and if you went into his studio, it was incredibly impressive. It was oak furniture, he had a beautiful bed, he had discs, I mean, everything. And he had animals, just an incredible person. Now, there's something I want to share. It's a great story. When he was little, he had an amazing person of color who would ask to go to the movies. And it was speaking with him, and he went by bus. And I remember the family maid said to him, go ahead, you sit near the dad at the front. And Jen, his name was Wilma, was sitting somewhere else. And Jen didn't understand and was trying to get the driver's attention. But Jim wouldn't take that, so he got up and sat next to Wilma in the back. And that's where you're sitting as I'm sitting in the bus driver at that point. But he didn't know what to do about it, we just let him sit in front of him. That was him. But that story didn't end there. They went to the mat, came into the movie, and Wilma also said to him, Jim, go sit there on the first floor. Right there in the middle. I'm going to go into the back, sit in the back. That's where black people sit, up in the background. So you sit there. And even though Jim, so he went and he sat there, and so I wanted to go to the back, up in the balcony. And just as the movie started, Wilma looked down, and he wasn't there. She had climbed all the way back, and he was sitting right next to her. And that was Jim. And he was moved. She was moved because it happened to him. He sat with him. That story tells us so much about him. Who he was throughout his life.
That was one of the very small examples of who he was and how he developed as a person and friends and family. He was good to everyone. He was good to students. He became a counselor. He just had a great ability with leadership. And he took that on with him to what he did with God. He was a fascinating person. One book on the story, we decided to go out to eat, and we were looking for some fried chicken on the day. Maybe we were on pop, I don't know. And as we sat down to eat, Jim liked to be left alone in the community, and he liked to eat fried chicken. And he cleaned those bones. I didn't eat the same food, but then after we eat up the bones and the Jim, he made sure to clean it all. And you know, the slogan is, the good looking good. That was Jim. He was bone looking good, not just bigger. That was Jim. Just will never forget. He's a great guy, he's a great friend. And then he was called.
Yes, he was a very good friend to me and to all of us, no question. Wonderful person, very generous, very real. Next, we have Bill. Good morning, Hynes. Good morning, Jim Hynes. Jim and I were past friends since 1974, 75. We were Gallup students, we were older than in class. But we hit it off immediately. River golf. I love golf, you like golf. I also like baseball. I didn't play golf until the senior, but Jim was my coach. Jim also had another passion. Golf was his love, no question. But surprisingly, he has another passion, which is Mercedes-Benz cars. He loves his Benzes. In 1985, 300 SC. And they had their annual Myrtle Beach golf weekends, and they 5-day long weekends. And now we're talking probably 1988 or so. When I went from Genesis, he doesn't like to do long trips. We would ask him to come and drive for him on these long trips. He liked to drive, but he asked me to drive. For almost 15 years, I drove his car. It was like a shake-up, right? He would say, you've got a Jetta, why don't you go to Benz? When I drove his Benz, it was pretty nice. I knew some. So I came back home, I started doing some reading, doing class 5s for my used car. I found one, but I needed his approval, right? He came with me from MSSD, went to Baltimore to look at this car. He patted the car, he goes, yeah, this is your car, this is it. I was like, perfect. But what did you know? You know nothing. It's like, this is your car. So I bought it. I bought it. I put 500,000 miles on that car over 27 years. It was a diesel. And Jim said, you know what a diesel? You gotta drive that thing slow. Right? Just sound like a gas engine. One day we should drive it in style. That's what he said. And I never forgot that. So every year, we go to Myrtle Beach, but we can only use his bins. 15 years, finally, after the 15th year, I drove my car, and I said, okay, you want to drive? I said, you go to my car. I think we were, I don't know, somewhere in Belmont, Virginia. He goes, okay, I had enough. You can drive the rest of the way. But that's how that story. So yes, his other passion was to save business. He would say, you know, make sure you do all the checks. Go to Jimmy in high school. He knows what he's the business guy. Just go to him. This mechanic had a white jacket and a back. And Jim liked that because it showed how clean he was. And whenever he got his car back from that mechanic, there was never anything. So it's a 45-minute drive, right? Because I live in Baltimore, so I go to Heights to get my car repaired. Over time, I did find another decent mechanic closer. But in making my choosing, I remembered that his advice that a mechanic has to be clean, the shop has to be clean. Where Jim Hynes went, all you have to say is J.H. means L. Restaurant, so people knew that. People knew him everywhere. He was wrong. This is St. Peter. Maybe I said maybe I'm mistaken St. Peter for a drive. Thank you, Will. So dress and Mercedes-Benz and golf and mallets. I'm sure there's other parts of the story broken forward too. Here next we have Stephanie.
So I'm going to know me as a person on the no line, but it's always a difficult position as I sit and watch everybody talking about, okay, now I'm going to say this, and now someone else comes in. I'm going to stand here and do my best, and if I can, a little bit bold, I'm going to add something different, maybe revolutionary. But it's pretty sitting the same thing about him. Well, I remember my first day coming to Gallaudet. Here I am, this new student, and I'm walking the campus. And we did it the first or the second floor, I was there, doing the check-in. And at that point, there was nobody in the corridor. I'm used to wondering where everybody else was stuff. And again, you're not seeing anyone else there. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, where is everybody? And all of a sudden, way in the corridor, and this is on the third floor, I see something going on. I see a bunch of people down here, and people are laughing, and there's some guy who's got the attention, and I don't know what's going on. But I see a lot of commotion, a lot of laughter, so I walk in that direction and head down to where I see the people, and all of a sudden they're trying to look at me. And it's where the farmers are, California, and all going, okay, that's pretty far away. And they had been together during the summer, but I had just flown out. But there was a guy who was the center of attention, and then I was just and he reached out and he said, "Look, it's like you're from California. Look at you, how far you're from." He was incredibly welcoming. I told him who I was, Scott Kramer. He introduced himself, and right away he just opened up and welcomed me in, and it was like everyone departed, the energy brought me right into the center, and from that moment on, we were friends, we were connected. He really became a dear friend. And I have so many memories stories with her. I had a sensation. I think what I was saying is I remember, like someone else mentioned, he was spontaneous. In that first year, we would just do all kinds of things. I remember we borrowed a red Volkswagen bus from somewhere out there. So we printed something and he saw it, and so he borrowed this red Volkswagen bus. I don't remember who the person's name, the other guy's name. But I said to him, make sure you take care of this and you keep it clean. And Jim gave his word, he said, sure, I'll do that. And then we all got in the van with him. And I think it was the Mason-Dixon basketball conference or something. We sat that way. Sorry. So it was right there next to North Carolina, and we're taking to different world, laughing and having a good time, and Jim was laughing, and at one point we stopped right on the border. You all know that famous place to stop, and we decided to buy some fireworks. So we had a bunch of people, so let's say a bunch of fireworks. And so we walked around all the different ways. And we started right there to play some of them, and we're all laughing and having a good time. We're setting these things off, and then we come back to Gallaudet, and I come back to Gallaudet, and he sees it's imaged from the firecrackers. And Jim's like, you know what, I'll take care. Money was not an issue. Bottom line, when I see everybody in all these stories, is I had such a heart that he was restored from the two things. You all mentioned different things. You talked about that dash between your birth and your death. How he lived his life. His dash was full. He was personal. He was a people person. He did fundraising for people who were so strong. He just was great. I mean, we were prepped together. That's why I wore this time. You all dressed in purple, and I get that, but I want to remember the first time I met him in the gym. I always loved him. Yes, he had a heart for LSU and he had a heart for Gallaudet. So your ties very fitting. Reflecting on his commitment to Gallaudet and Mississippi. So they're all in the right place and thinking about it. Next up, I'll tell you. Thank you all. So I'm on Albert. And hello and welcome everyone. Definitely a friend of Jim and Hynes. And we also have something who weren't able to be here today. We are live streaming, which is wonderful. A lot of people can join in. Jim is a one-of-a-kind guy. Just a great, interesting character. He was magnetic, as people said. He had interesting friends. He had different friends. People loved laughing with him, knowing his stories. He always just had a good time. He could talk about anything. He could talk about his travels, golf, food, life, pretty much anything. We asked him when he bring my clubs over to MSSD football field. This was, we were having lunch break in the summer and we would work together. And the lesson I got was centrifuges, being able to swing over and making sure that you had it just comfortable, like if you swing, you would get your swing. And the force would be just right. So that's what he was teaching me. So we did it over and over again. To know when to let go. And I would be sending it in every direction but the target. But I learned that lesson of centrifuge from him. Make sure your swing is going straight. And I was impressed with this guy always. Even the fact that the deaf seniors of American conference that he decided to go to, it was in Hollywood, Florida. He wanted to come, spend time with friends, attend some of the workshops, knowing that life is short. That was me. Making the most of it, seizing opportunities. And on the last day of the week, I was with my wife, Lisa, and we went to the casino, and Jimmy was there with Randy. And they were playing blackjack. And I have to say, Randy, your love and affection, you were just there for him, and really acknowledge and honor him for that. And then over at the ice cream parlor, it was a pretty nice ice cream parlor. They had alcohol, ice cream, and Jim ordered one. And then he ordered a second one, and he really enjoyed that ice cream. I remember that, we had a great talk, and I got to spend some time with him. And that was his last hurrah, spending that time with friends, knowing that the end was coming. And we just acknowledge all of his accomplishments. The whole one, you know that expression, the whole one. But the fact that we're here celebrating doing the right thing, knowing that we're all going to history. Thank you, Alan. You know, Jen did need was, he was an ace. He was an ace. Or one of them. You find Jen, and you get a hold of him. Next, we have Tom and just give me a second. We'll get to what's on this side here. Look at this list. Look at this list. Y'all said everything that's on this list. Everything that's on this list. You know, one more say, man, this is everything. You already said everything I want to say. Now I'm going to do all that speak. Just this morning, I woke up on campus and thought, shit. I'm going to talk about Jen in just a few minutes. Looking for all of the stories in my mind. In my life, it's so weird. All of the experiences that we've had in all these years, we're supposed to like pick something to talk about. So I was wrapping my brain around it. I thought, you know what, he's been so good to me. He's so good to me. My background's different. I'm not from a science background. Very different as people thinking about that. But never in 100 years would I ever have dreamed that I would be standing up here today and honoring Jim's memory. Never occurred to me. It's almost like, you know, he's a saint, right? I expect him to outlive me. He's gone too soon. Out of San Fernando Valley, California, and moved to DC. Guess the first person who was the first person I saw was Jen, of course. And guess who gave me a place to stay? Jen, of course. Moving across country, I didn't plan it at all. I didn't have a place to stay. I had a job, that was about it. So thank you, Jen, for that. Let me get my footing. Thinking about Jen. I was like, who's going to tell Jen's story? And I thought to myself, okay, I will. With this, Jen is in this bag. Of course, do I need to say what this is? Y'all know what this is, right? We were not friends over golf. There's a big story behind that spot. It's a dogfish tail. Jim was so proud.
said, I know IPAs. He knew IPAs. Unbelievable. Starfish came out. We couldn't find any more of them. Like, so we got a case. We had to drive around and find them, but it's $200. We got a case. Just give it. And she's, so I go to the liquor store. I find a case. I buy this case. This is the actual beer that Jim bought in 2011 as a minimum. This is the very last one in that case. I've been saving it in my basement for years. This is 2011. Next in that. Baby in my position. Now, talking about how he would dress and how he had style, right? He also had style. So not only did he dress well, but he motorcycle. Then we have hold on for 1 second. I never liked martinis. Motorcycle, you say, oh, come on. We're like riding around motorcycles, we go to the bar, and he says, hey, get a martini. It's gotta be dirty. It's gotta be a dirty martini. But you know what? They're my favorite drink now. Hold on. Just so we're just straight up with this. Dirty martini. Okay. Jim. This is Jim. To a dear friend. I'm going to miss you, my friend. Godspeed, Jim. Until we meet. Dirty martini, yes. We all have a shot. Let's do that. Hello, I'm Bernie. So I lived in Connecticut for many years, and I was in touch with Jim. Early in and we all got along, very friends. I mean, we met, we were friends. I chose him to help with the work, and at that time the theme was love. And I have several themes that come up with me, but I remember that one. I picked him, and then Karen Letch was his partner, his girlfriend at the time, and they took these photos and the images were still in the frame. And I always remember that. So he would be the photographer and he would get the photos right for the year photo. So that was something that we did in the beginning. And that lasts forever.
And so then I was asked to speak to them also to talk about God, which obviously is so important, and just the impact that Jim had. So where we are now in the USA, where our team is, US Step God, is amazing. We had a powerful influence worldwide. And you might know of significant friends that we have, but we think about it worldwide, we have had influence. I don't think we realize how much so. Now, Jim knew when he set this up that he was going to have this type of influence. Then he got involved with establishing the World Federation. But the issue at that time was the US and what was happening in Europe, there were some differences in terms of the system for the national tournaments, the system we had in the US. We had about 50 different organizations here, so it was difficult having all of the competition within those 50. So it took a lot more financing. Where in Europe they had different systems, so I could go on and on about that, but there were differences. And Jim was involved of the National Deaf God Association, and that group tried to move forward that things were not actually focused on. Even though we had a US team that was great for these issues, and they really forced the different minds back. A lot of people got upset. And then they established the US Deaf God Federation. So then the US team gave because there was something had to have certain requirements, affiliation, and on, it's very good to be defensive. Until finally the US team hosted, this was in Pennsylvania in 97, and we raised the bar. And from that point on, even to this day, we have won awards and trophies because we raised the bar. The U.S. has become the team to beat. And we, in the eyes of everyone around the world, we are the team. We went to national championships, we've won. And we all know, and I just went right back to Jim. Everyone is aware of him. You go to South Africa, they know Jim. You go around the world, they know Jim. When I was here in Florida with him, and I got to share this story and talk about him, he had a huge impact in golf. And so I appreciate all of you that got to work with him, and the fact that we now have the organization, US Deaf God. The US Deaf God actually has a campaign where we raise money to help with youth, so that we keep having youth in our alumni. And Jerry Marshall here, and his son is an incredible golfer. It just shows us that our input is making a difference, that we're going to create this legacy and be able to bring our new people standing in golf. So it was Jerry, his character, and all the hard work and all he did that made such a difference. And it's a huge honor. If he was here, if he left this world, it would be a better place. So we love it. Talking about US Step Golf, talking about how he was a magnet and attracted people, how charismatic he was. There's a bowl in the back, and you can take one chip. What's this called? A golf chip? What is this? I don't know. What's this called? Poker chip. It's a poker chip. US Deaf Golf, donated these. It is a magnet. I would just stick it in the refrigerator. US DGS. And that is one magnet. I got children. With a picture of Hynes.
quick one. Thank you so much for the Resident Law Association bringing this perfect personality that he was. Next up, Debbie Stephanie. Going to do a song. They're going to do a song. Hi, everyone. I need a volume to the house. I second the motion. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to reach it. Hold on.
Really gonna miss you. It's really gonna be different without you. Time's gonna be hard and slow for the rest of my life. Gonna be thinking about you. Yes, I am. Time came when you had to go. I miss you, Marguerite. I miss you, my friend. I promise my love will never end. In your finest hour, I was there with you, and without you, things won't be the same. But there's a higher power that we answer to, and you will call the name. Really gonna miss you, everything about you, your smiling face. I know you want us all to be strong. Really gonna miss you. I know you're gone at the place. Sing you a brand new song. I miss you, Marguerite. I miss you, my friend. I promise my love for you will never You need to hear this. Can you please repeat what you just said?
Of course, Mr. Johnson. Based on your zip code and eligibility, you are approved for a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you a benefit from
Thank you, David. We all of us, all of us in the live stream, all of us in the room, live stream. This is one of the last photos we have. In the the angels wings. He is one. He knows that we will eventually join. We have wonderful memories. All of his stories clearly show. Everyone was his joy and loved him, and he loved everyone. This is this too, I'm sure. Thank you all for coming. We have cupcakes, we have magnets, we have refreshments and coffee. Please help yourself. And fellowship, sharing stories with each other if you would like. And then we turn the loop back on again so you can see all the photos and friends and family. But please stay coming. Thank you for sharing his love. And he says he loves it. I'm sorry, yes, if I could just get your attention for one more moment, I'm sorry. You know, Jim was laughing behind the head, right, saying, oh, and he said, oh, sir, so Jim says, thank you today, the committee for working so hard to make this happen, because we're dedicated time and make sure that all this place is working, so thank you so much, really. Thank God at university for the use of the space, and basically, just very, very grateful, a lot of gratitude for this morning. Thank you so much.